happened to that leg? If anybody comes on, give me a shout. Give me a shout. Let's see which will be better, which will be worse. Oh, the other side. Yeah. This bad boy is huge, so we don't want to bump anything. Try to move you, if you're there, move you a little closer here to see what's going on if I can. Let's see. Bear with me a second here. Try to get you tilted. Hold on. I'm getting ready to flatten some pieces here. Welcome, Mother's Land community. You have to be careful in here because it's a little tight. We're getting ready to flatten some slabs using this router jig that we purchased. Purchased it, and I gave them a not so good review on it because of some issues. But for what I paid for it, I'm like, you know, if it's able to get my stuff, my work pieces flat, I can modify it a little bit or just make some improvements that they should be. So for now, we are there. So first, let me probably raise it up just a little, just a little. That should be perfect. Get that side. I think this thing, when you're adjusting it, I think it lights both sides loose first. Let's see if I'm right about that. That's what it seems like. We should be there now, should be. This is a piece of walnut. All of the wood that we do out here comes right off the property. If you notice, I'll show you later. All this that's against the wall here, we have some maple, some cherry, and some walnut. Also some poplar that we use to make our cornhole board frames, only the frames. Because the mill will not do a 24-inch. So all this has been kiln dried, and we're going to just flatten this out a bit. You can see that it's a little wobbly. What you want to do first, you want to shim it to get it just steady where it doesn't wobble. And what I did here, instead of, I made one out of wood, a slab flattening jig out of wood, and I've used it for 2 years. I mean, it worked great, but it was made out of wood, so it was just a matter of time. If I had to go back to it, I could, but I've just been wanting something a little bit more sturdier and better, and this seems to, I can make it work, okay? So what we're going to do, let's see if I can, let me take a look at that. I mean, with this, it has to be just, everything has to be right. Right, everything has to be right. So let's make sure everything is right. We're in there. All right. All right, there we are. Got the stoppers on. And we'll adjust it to where we want to be here in just a second. We did this piece of cherry yesterday, and with a little work, a little ingenuity, we got it, you can see that, flat. So like I said, we'll work with it. I'm going to turn this heat off. We're in North Georgia, and it's raining, it's not cold, but the cold is coming. So let's go ahead and finish setting this up. Now, when I first started this, because I needed something to hold the piece sturdy when I started the router on it to keep it from moving. What I used to do with my old one, I would use wedges. The way it was set up on the other table, I would use wedges to just lock it in where it didn't move. But when I moved everything over here to this setup, I didn't have a way to lock it down. I have a few ideas, but I needed something that would work like right now. So this is what we did. We took some simple, just pieces of wood, and used CA glue, glued around the piece. And that's what I'm getting ready to do now, glue around the piece just to lock it down, to keep it still. But first I got to keep it from rocking. So we're going to do that first. If anybody want to have any comments or like to add any ideas, I'm listening. I am listening. These are 2 areas I need to work on. Let's go a little, maybe a little heavier there. Let's try this. Work for that one. Not quite, not quite. Not quite. Just using some whatever I can find to keep it from rocking, and there we are. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and lock it down right here. It looks like I'm going to have to, because of this little knot right here, I could have took it to the table and cut all these edges off, Sometimes I do that beforehand. Sometimes I don't. Since this one didn't have any bark on it, I said, well, I'll go ahead and just do this one like it is. But I think the rest of them, I'm going to go ahead and trim the edges. But, so I'm going to probably need to use 2 pieces, which is no problem at all, because pieces is what I got plenty of around here. Plenty. Uh-oh, the cats. We have barn cats, and they've heard me in here. They like to be around when I'm working until the noise starts. Here, this is July. This joker. Look, you got wet paw. Can you give me a minute? Thank you. Barn cat. He doesn't realize he's a barn cat, but he's a killer. Come on, I'm trying to do something. Nope. Stay over there. No. Come on, man. Give me a minute. Hold on, give me a minute. All of them coming. Give me a minute, okay? Look at it. I think that'll work right there. I'm gonna get it locked down. Let's lock her down. I might turn on something, see if they will leave me alone. I'll be back on. Yeah, he likes it. It's close. All the dust out here before I drop that C8. If you just joining us, this router sled, I got it off Amazon. What attracted me to it, first of all, was the price and the design. I like the design, but it has some flaws in it. But for the price, I said I'll give it a try. Because I've been looking at these for a couple of years. And I got this thing under 140 bucks. All the others I've seen are much more than that. And right after I bought this one went up, which I don't think they should have did that. But let's C8 down now. This is a quick bond method. Let's see. Hopefully this will be enough to hold the car. This bad boy is heavy and dense. Let's see what we got here. Spray the activator on there. Just hold it down for about 12 seconds. And it should be enough to keep this thing still while I'm working on it. Once I get both sides flat, I'll go ahead and trim the edges. Get me a nice 90-degree piece. See, they coming around because they're getting close time to eat. So, but it's too early. They don't call shots around here. If you're getting ready to move, you're going down, okay? Yep, down. Trying to keep them out till I get done here. That should be on there. It is. All right, we're ready to rock and roll here. Lock and load. Live from the mother's land. go ahead and get out of depth. I could hook up a vacuum to this, but not this trip, not this time. I may try to just put something up here to kind of help block some of the dust, because it's going to kick it out. It is coming. It's coming. The dust is coming. But right now, we'll do that. And like my old router sled, I was using a DeWalt 611, that model, which is a smaller palm router. I upgraded to this one a few months ago, but had never used it up until recently here. And there's a few things I like about it. First of all, the power. And the next thing is a power cord will actually detach from the device. Here it comes back. We detach from the device. And it just got some nice features. This is for your dust collection, to hook up a vacuum to when you go. We'll do that here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and get started so July will stay out of the way. Hold on, I'm going to show the people some of the, everybody stay right there, hold on. You get down. This is just some of the things that we make out here, like I said, from wood right off the property. These are coasters made out of maple, walnut, and cherry. They are unfinished right now. This is a finished one made out of walnut, maple, and cherry, and it has our logo on it. Stay down, little fella. Hold on. Let me show you something else. This is one of the cutting boards that we make. Maple, walnut, cherry, and spaltic maple on this side. All right, we're getting ready here. See, the other two cats, they got out of here. But he likes being around me. He's still hanging around. Where's Joker? You better move this time now, because it's got to get rough in here. Okay? Stay over there. Here we come back. Let's get this set up here. Let's see. I think I'm going to be low enough here. Listen, you're going to have to go. I'm going to need a little bit more. Hold on a minute. Hold on. There's nothing in here for you right now, killer. I think we're going to come down just a little here. Or, let's see what we want to do. Got to make sure it's just right. Just right. There you go again. Take my next. caught on to that right quick. My goodness. All right, let's see. Just not sure if that's going to be too low or not. Yeah, that's too low. Much too low. We don't want that. This one is so thick. Thought it would have been perfect. I may have to go down. No, I need to raise it up. Raise it up. Let's see. I think right now I'm as low as I can get with that bit. I'm pretty sure I am. That's it. I need to raise this thing up while it's down there. I can't do that. Okay. All right, let's check something here. Let's see how much room we got in here. Let's see. I don't think there's enough to go any further on this. I really don't. Yeah, I might could get a little bit out of it. Let's see. As long as it's, I don't like having them right there on the edge, but let's just see. Let's see. Let's see how much that gives us. Let's see if that gives us enough here. All right, we'll be able to knock a little bit of it off. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll set it up differently. July sitting over there mad at me because I'm moving. I'll let you come back in a minute. Hold on. I really like this power cable. Like I said, it locks. You can lock it in and it detaches, which is really good. I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing right now. Just going to shave off a little. missed most of it right here. Let's see. For right now, I'm as low as I can go. With this piece is about 2.5, 3 inches thick. And if I go down to get closer to it on the actual sled itself, the rails are going to hit the part that I'm knocking off. So that's what I'm doing. I'm knocking off this high part to see if maybe then I can get down there to where I need to be. But if not, the next thing I would do is take it off. And I do have another piece of wood that I'm going to put right underneath this setup here to fix all that. Once I do that, I just got to get it, cut it to size, put it under here, put this back on top, and that will never happen again. Like I said, just got this, and they were just working out some kinks. And this particular rider sled, it does not like being on its lowest setting. I found that out yesterday. And that's no problem. That's no problem at all, because with the one that I made, I always made height adjustments. So same thing with this one. We get that all together, but the piece is sturdy and it's flattening the wood. So, and that's what we want to do. So just bear with us. I'm going to bring you in to let you see the difference in the raw lumber and when you start surfacing the raw lumber, what it looks like. See that? The raw side over here. And then you get this. You notice these little lines in it. That's okay. That's normal. What we'll do later is go down a little lower and we'll knock all this other off. But that right there is what you want. After all this, we'll trim these edges off, get all of this to a perfect 90, run this through the planer, and it'll be ready for whatever we want to make out of it. No, you stay over there. Don't come over here. Stay over there. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'll be really close to feeding time away. Over there just waiting. All right, back to it. notice that little noise, that little ant kind of like noise in there, that's because I've got the bit kind of not quite on the edge, but a little more than what I like. I like to have that bit up into that shank a little bit more, and that will keep that noise down. But this is a 1/2 inch that I'm using. If this was a 1/4 inch, I probably wouldn't do it that way. I would go ahead and raise this up. But that's because of the bit not being up in there just a little bit further. So we'll work that out later too. It's always good to have it just right. Just right. That last little loud noise that you heard, that's because this piece has a crack in it, and I was shaving right there on that crack. When I get ready to use this piece, what I would do is split it right down the middle right here on the table saw, and that way, and just make, like I said, gonna make all these angles a perfect 90, and then we'll have something to work with. So I'm gonna let you hear the difference in this when it's just right. See, that's what I like about this. It will detach right from the machine. I like that. Hold on. This is a heavy boy. It's heavy. It's a big boy. It's a big boy. My other one is a lot smaller than this one. Let me show you how much I had in there. Not much at all. Watch this. Oh, just that much. When it's in like it needs to be, that right there would be ideal. Ideal. Right there. That would be ideal. You'll notice the difference in the sound. It's a lot smoother sound when it's like it's supposed to be. Like a finely tuned engine. All right. For now, that'll do it for now, to be honest. Piece is probably, since I knocked that hump off, it is. It's flat like that, but I still want to go down a little bit further to knock off some of these other rough spots. I could do that on the planer, but I mean, that is good. That is really good. Still right in this area right here where we still got some rough areas. Oh, yeah. We still need to come down a little bit more, but we knocked that hump off that was interfering with the rails here. And that's what I wanted to show you. Like I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some 3/4 plywood pretty soon and put it on top of this table. And it will be my base table. And then I will put this on top of that. And because this thing still has 2 more slots it can go in, it'll raise it up good and high to be above all that. And this is probably the thickest piece that I'll be doing, probably 3 inch. I don't have anything above 3 inches over there or in here. So once I set it up to get past this, everything will be perfect. Thank you for joining us today. You can stick around. Only thing I'm going to do now is probably flip this. Now I'm going to need to raise it up, so I'm probably going to have to take all this loose. So that may be it for today. Thank you for joining us today. Does anyone have any questions, any ideas you'd like to add? See how flat it is. right in there. But it does not. Okay. Table saw. Here. Let's try another piece. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's pop this off. These are pretty easy. As soon as I said that, it's not, but they pop off usually. Pretty easy. There we go. I'm gonna leave that one on there. Why? Because I think I'm down on that one. I may try to do this one. I may try to go ahead and do this one. Leave our wheel. One less I have to do later on. CA blue. Just a little, all it takes. Just a little. I'm sure that stuff is toxic. I don't like breathing it. Hold it down for about 12 seconds. This one should be fine. I'm gonna come down probably one setting. All right, there we go. CA glue. All right, let's take care of that. Oh, we already got it. Check all the corners. You don't get a wobble, you're good. All right. Let's bring this back in, see if we want to. Go ahead and come down a bit. This is a make it work, let it happen. Kind of set up here. Make it work, let it happen. All right, let's go down. It should be good for this one. Should be. We hit that one right there. And just that quick, it's stuck. All right, let's see where we are. Let's see where we are. Now this time, I think I do want to, bring that bit out just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. It's a little tough getting out till it gets good and broke in. Not broken in yet. Let's bring it out a little, just a little. Not as much as that other one. All right. Let's see where we are here. Not quite, not quite. Let's bring this stopper in a little bit. think I'm gonna take this off. This depth gauge, I think I'm gonna take that off. Not right now though. Let me see how much I got here to play with. I just don't like having too much up in there. Get in there. I want to see something. Let's do this. Okay. Lock it up. I want it just right. Is that just right? Let's see. No. The thing that bark. Not set yet. Not set yet. Let's come over this way. Where I want to be. That's a mighty big hump in that thing. But that should get me right where I need to be, right there. I want to make sure I get it all in one pass. One pass, one pass. Oh, don't fall. Anybody still there? Let me show you this. Yeah, somebody here. He likes to be around me, and he doesn't mind the noise of the machines, but the other two cats, they are jet as soon as you turn anything on. But him, as long as he's around me, look at him. Whatever, Lord. In the name of Jesus, you know what you're doing. Mm-mm-mm. Me, I wonder sometimes. And the other one, now they heard the noise, it got quiet in here. Now they're trying to come back. Ooh, boy. All right, let's get back at it here. Hold on. What? Come on, boy. Oh, my goodness. And this will be the first time bark on it, so not too sure about this one. The rest of them, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and do the edges on them. Crank up the table saw and get that out the way. Here we go. I think I want to go down a little bit lower. A little bit lower. Because I want to make sure I go all the way across. I want to be sure that a little engineering job where I'm protecting the wheels is working, so I'll fix something up a little bit more permanent. The people that made this thing, who sold it, they should have did that. Just knowing, they should have did that. But it is working. So, I mean, look at this. This is hard maple. Ooh, I kicked up some dust, didn't I? Quite a bit. I can keep that on. Ah, look. That's going to make a beautiful cutting board. Look at that. Hard maple. Mix that up with some walnut, cherry, and that will last a lifetime. With the proper care, of course. I'm going to go ahead and move this. These are wood shavings that I'm vacuuming. This stuff here. You can take this, mix it up if you can find some pine sap, what is it? Some lard, like Crisco. What else? There's a couple other things. Maybe even some, what is that other stuff? Cocoa butter. And just compact it, get it in there real tight. Make some good fire starter for your campfires. I'm gonna have to work on the dust system. I am. We're gonna have to I'm going in. I'm going to trim all those edges up before I do any more. Thank you for joining. Thanks for joining us today. Stay blessed.